damage the weapon.
Case 1. It was a chilly Friday morning on November 26, 2021, when the calm of Santa Fe County, New Mexico, was shattered by two individuals who decided that a caffeine fix wasn't enough. They wanted the money. Jacob Montoya, age 26, and his 28-year-old accomplice, Christiana Demas, rolled up to a Starbucks drive-thru and brandished a firearm, demanding cash. They fled in a black Kia without a license plate, essentially inviting every patrol car in the state to join their parade.
For what, did he damage the weapon?
By the time the New Mexico State Police spotted them later that day after a second robbery attempt, the tension had reached a boiling point. The pursuit quickly moved on to Interstate 25, where the speeds climbed and the stakes became terminal. As the chase reached a fever pitch, Sheriff's Deputy Patrick Fick entered the fray and the situation devolved from a high-speed pursuit into a mobile war zone. The suspects began firing at officers from their back window, transforming a public highway into a shooting gallery. Deputy Fick, showing a level of composure that most of us can't maintain while parallel parking, used his dashboard as a makeshift rifle mount while steering with his other hand. He was forced to exercise extreme caution because of civilian traffic, pulling his rifle back whenever innocent drivers drifted into his line of fire. It's a terrifying reality of modern policing, trying to stop a moving threat while the very people you're protecting are inadvertently getting in the way. The gunfight continued for miles, with the suspects showing a callous disregard for anyone else on the road. The air was filled with the sound of returning fire as the Kia zigzagged across the asphalt. Eventually, the Kia veered onto the wrong side of Highway 285, a desperate move that signaled the end was near. The car eventually crashed out, but the human cost was already paid.
Vehicle shooting from the back window now. He's shooting from the back window. Vehicle almost 45 down. Returning fire. 45 down, returning fire.
When the dust and smoke finally settled, it was revealed that many of Deputy Fick's shots had found their mark. Montoya survived his 4 gunshot wounds after being rushed to the hospital in critical condition. But Christiana wasn't so lucky. She passed away from a combination of gunshot wounds and the trauma of the high-speed impact.
He's about 45 down, 45 down. Family stop, family stop.
A tense standoff lasted into the night, at which point the male suspect...
Inside the wreckage, investigators found 2 9mm pistols and a literal pile of ammunition, along with a glass narcotics pipe, which might explain the sheer recklessness of their flight. In the legal aftermath, Montoya pleaded guilty to his role in the rolling shootout and was handed an 8-year prison sentence in 2023. This incident serves as a grim reminder that when you turn a highway into a battlefield, the casualties are rarely just limited to the car's exterior. It added fuel to a growing national debate about whether the risks of high-speed chases, which claim an average of 2 lives a day in the United States, are always worth the potential capture of a suspect. A warehouse siege in downtown LA.
Stay in the car, stay in the car, stay in the car. Stay in the car.
The vehicle is going to be running southbound, and I'm going to have officers chase it because it looks like a male Hispanic, black hat, black sweatshirt.
If the Santa Fe incident was about the dangers of the open road, the chase involving Mario Alvarenga on January 19, 2024, was a lesson in the dangers of confined spaces. It started when LAPD officers received a report of a stolen white Dodge pickup truck in downtown Los Angeles. The owner of the truck had left something behind that changed the entire nature of the response: a handgun.
The original information, the copy you want to track. Vehicle is still on the 10 freeway, so guys, just if you want to track it, just have a little bit of space, and we'll keep an eye on it for you.
CHP?
Still westbound at a high rate of speed now on the 10 freeway.
My CHP.
Suddenly, this wasn't just a routine auto theft recovery. It was a search for an armed and potentially desperate individual. Officers tracked the vehicle to the intersection of Raymond Avenue and Washington Boulevard, and the moment they flipped on their lights, Alvarenga decided to make a run for it.
We'll go to tracking. We'll on to tracking. My CHP.
Repeat the original information copy.
The pursuit through Western LA was a chaotic masterclass in why city chases are so incredibly dangerous. Alvarenga pushed the heavy pickup to its limits, weaving through traffic and narrowly missing pedestrians who were just trying to cross the street. Dispatchers were coordinating with the California Highway Patrol to take over as the chase moved on to the 10 freeway. The tension in the radio chatter was palpable as officers discussed the stolen gun inside the vehicle.
Central. Vehicle now westbound 12 from Central.
3-1, be advised, he has a flat tire.
Eventually, Alvarenga's luck with physics ran out when he crashed into a parked car near Pico Boulevard and Paloma Street. But instead of surrendering, he abandoned the truck and sprinted toward a nearby commercial warehouse.
And running inside the building, stand by in the street. 384 stops, 384 stops, 384 stops, 384, come back.
This is where the situation turned from a chase into a nightmare for the warehouse workers inside. Surveillance cameras captured Alvarenga bursting into the building, followed closely by 3 LAPD officers with their weapons drawn. Workers ducked behind boxes and covered their ears, terrified by the sudden intrusion of a high-stakes standoff into their workday.
Hey, stop! Get on the ground! Get on the ground right now!
Alvarenga backed himself into a corner, and when he drew the handgun from his waistband and racked the slide, the officers were forced to make a split-second decision. They opened fire, striking Alvarenga multiple times in the limbs and chest.
Hey, I got you. If you want to holster up, I got you, man. Right here.
The most tragic irony of the entire event was revealed only after Alvarenga was handcuffed and the gun was secured. The Sig Sauer pistol he had used to threaten the officers was completely unloaded, and the magazine was empty. He had essentially provoked a lethal response with a paperweight.
Hey, I got you. If you want to holster up, I got you, man. Right here.
While Alvarenga survived the shooting after being rushed to the hospital in critical condition, the trauma inflicted on the innocent bystanders and the officers involved remains. A July 2025 review by the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office concluded that the officers acted reasonably, given that Alvarenga had appeared to prepare his weapon for firing. It's a stark example of how a stolen vehicle can spiral into a life-altering tragedy in the blink of an eye. Case 3.
Making contact with car 1239.
Moving from the concrete jungle of LA to the more rural parts of Washington state, we find the case of Randy Fawado. On June 12, 2023, a 911 call came in from a frantic woman at a local shopping mall who had just been carjacked at gunpoint. She described a man emerging from the woods, pointing a gun at her and demanding her keys and purse. It was a terrifying, personal violation. But Fawado had made one massive mistake. The victim had an AirTag hidden inside her vehicle. This little piece of consumer tech led the Pierce County Sheriff's deputies directly to his location, turning a cold case into a hot pursuit in record time. The chase that followed was anything but routine. Fawado led deputies through narrow, winding lanes in rural Pierce County at blistering speeds, making every turn a potential death trap. Officers attempted to use stop sticks to disable the car, which eventually caused Fawado to lose a tire. But even as he was driving on a bare metal rim, sending sparks flying across the highway, he refused to stop. The pursuit finally came to a crashing halt when a deputy performed a pit maneuver, sending the stolen car into a wreck on the shoulder of I-5. Fawado immediately bailed and fled on foot, leaving his female passenger trapped inside the vehicle. As the car began to smoke and then burst into flames, the scene shifted from a pursuit to a frantic rescue. Deputies had to ignore the fleeing suspect for a moment to drag the woman out of the burning car before it was fully engulfed. The fire was so intense that it didn't just consume the stolen vehicle, it spread to the dry grass and ignited 2 nearby police cruisers.
Please get on the ground! You're getting shot! You're getting shot! You're gonna get shot! Get on the ground!
By the time fire crews arrived, the stolen car and 1 patrol car were totaled, while a second squad car suffered significant damage to its undercarriage. It was a literal scorched earth ending to a pursuit that could have been avoided if the suspect had simply pulled over.
Is it just you in there? Just you. She's the only one we saw.
Get away, get away, get away.
Stand up.
Back her up.
Oh my God. Stand up.
In the charred remains of the grass, police found the handgun Fawado had used in the original robbery. The 26-year-old was eventually apprehended and hit with a laundry list of charges, including first-degree robbery, identity theft, and fleeing. Reports indicated he had a long history of stealing cars, suggesting that for some, the thrill of the chase is a recurring habit that they only break when they run out of luck or tires. Case 4.
Confirming a hit at South Window. 2 mils, 2 mils.
On February 7th, 2024, best friends and roommates Corey Mercier and Trenton Johnson decided to take their criminal aspirations on the road. They stole a U-Haul in Oklahoma and packed it with firearms, a machete, and 2 Molotov cocktails. While their ultimate destination was Michigan, their journey took a violent detour through Washington County, Arkansas. After Oklahoma police were forced to call off their initial pursuit because the speeds, exceeding 120 miles per hour, were too dangerous for the public. The Arkansas leg of the chase was so intense that even the local police chief, Corey Jennison, joined the primary pursuit. The U-Haul darted in and out of heavy traffic, a 10,000-pound brick moving at terminal velocity. Chief Jennison attempted a tactical vehicle intervention, TVI, to end the madness. The maneuver worked, spinning the van into a barrier, but the physics of the impact were unforgiving. The chief's patrol car was clipped and sent into a violent rollover, flipping multiple times before coming to a rest in the grass. It was a heart-stopping moment that could have easily ended in an officer's funeral.
No, not yet.
Mercier and Johnson were finally dragged from the van and arrested. Miraculously, Chief Jennison crawled from the wreckage of his crushed cruiser and helped secure the suspects before even checking himself into a hospital for his minor injuries. The search of the van revealed the true danger of the situation. Those Molotov cocktails weren't just for show. In May 2025, both men pleaded guilty to criminal possession of explosives. Johnson received 10 years of probation in exchange for his testimony, while the driver, Mercier, was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Whether it's an empty gun in a warehouse or a Molotov cocktail in a U-Haul, the consequences of these high-speed decisions ripple far beyond the initial crime. But for now, the asphalt remains a dangerous place for anyone caught in the path of someone with nothing left to lose.